house of random, I wouldn't say useless, but just random stuff.
And you're going to Chili's to sit down with the fam, and a goddamn robot pulls up and tries to serve you. You're like, excuse me. I'd like to be a gallon of milk that expires, maybe the 23rd, the 24th, instead of, maybe the 15th, the 16th. You know what I'm saying?
2, 1. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name would be Evan. You can call me E, Ev, Red, Captain Redbeard, Big Red Bastard, Red Rob Zombie, Ginger Jesus, Son of Ritz. We go by a whole bunch of names. Welcome back. Welcome. Today is Saturday, March 23rd. Is the crack of 10:26. So we're getting at it earlier than I normally do, but later than I wanted to. I wanted to start doing this like fucking 2 hours ago, but me and punctuality and time aren't best friends. So here we are, doing it earlier than usual. We're out here. Probably won't be too crazy of an episode, because we are starting a little bit later. I mean, I got to work at 11 tomorrow. So I want to pop off a little bit of a stream. Make sure you're tapped into the streams, twitch.tv/eelsauce4 for the A. We've been popping off. Today is going to be day, I believe, 53 or 54. I can't remember. One of the two. I haven't kept track on my computer, but I just don't remember right now at the top of my head. But yeah, we just been grinding, streaming. It's been mad fucking fun, honestly. I just been getting at it. Recently been playing a lot of Skyrim Special Edition. So it's just the wonderful game, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, or 6? Skyrim. And it's just like a prettier, like more enhanced version of the game. Like they overhauled the graphics so it looks nicer. They added some extra content to it. Just a whole bunch of more features to it. So I've been playing that on stream. Of course, been grinding Fort. Been on the road to 100 crowns. So that has been that's been fun. Honestly, it's been fun. We're at 26 crowns right now. So we're already a quarter of the way there on the race to 100 this season. We'll easily get there. I'm not even that worried. But yeah, sipping on a little Smirnoff Ice Smash. Tonight's strawberry lemon. Instead, they have a. I wanted to get this like margarita seltzer type tall boy drink, but they only had like one left. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I got the one left, and then one of these bad boys. So not the peach mango that we normally do, but it's still valid. But cheers, everybody. Yeah, we're just posted up. Casual Saturday night. Honestly, this is gonna be a pretty, not lame, but pretty low key, laid back episode. Didn't I have one podcast topic to talk about that I wrote down throughout the whole week, but because normally, I think I said before, normally what I'll do is that throughout the week, throughout the week between each episode, I'll just, whatever happens throughout life, I'm like, I'll write that down. Like, it'll be something I can talk about on the podcast. But this week has just been uneventful, not in a bad way or anything like that. Just nothing noteworthy's been going on. My 2 days off, I had Tuesday off and Thursday off, and I told myself both on Monday and Wednesday, I'm like, all right, you got tomorrow off. You're gonna fucking do this, that, and the third. Blah 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 blah. Fast forward to Tuesday. Fast forward to Wednesday or Thursday. I got up at 6 p.m. on Wednesday or on Tuesday, and then I got up at like 7 p.m. on Thursday. So those were my only days off until Wednesday of this upcoming week. So we're almost halfway through. I got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday left. So we're like halfway through the work week. But yeah, I just happens every fucking time. It doesn't help. My sleep schedule's been absolutely fucked. Like, absolutely fucked. Last night I went to bed sometime after 7 in the morning, and I had work at 11:15. So I'm not gonna be doing that again tonight because I got a long shift tomorrow. I got like an 8-hour shift tomorrow. I am not trying to get like fucking. And I'm gonna take a shower tonight. Probably after this, I'll take a shower, so I'll be nice and ready. Then go to bed, wake up, fucking work. Oh, because even if I go to bed like 4, that'll still be like fucking. I mean, 4 to. Yeah, I mean, get up at like 10. It's like 6 hours. Okay. Ugh. Just doing the degen math of like, okay, how much of an asshole am I? Like, if I stay up this late, how much sleep can I cram in before I have to get up this early? Every time, bro. Every time. But no, I've been having a great time streaming. It's been really fucking fun. Been meeting a whole bunch of dope ass people. I've also had a whole bunch of people just IRL tapped in the streams as well. People from work, people from school, like homies and shit. So it's been fucking fun. It's been really fun. Slowly but surely getting better. And yeah, at this point, we're just waiting to. We just have to garner a certain amount of like active. I think it's like viewers or something like that. And the threshold's like I think the threshold's 3, and we're at like 2.5 right now, averaging like 2.5, 2.6. So it fluctuates. It depends from stream to stream. But yeah, basically, once we hit a steady flow of like, I think it's an average of 3 viewers per whatever the metric is, then we get tapped into affiliate. And then that's when shit gets really spicy because then we get what called channel points. So people spend time watching the stream and then they accrue points that you can then, depending on the creator, you can then use those points, spend those points on whatever kind of things. So it'd be like 200 points to highlight my message in chat, 1,000 points to fucking do this. Some people have like customizable color bullshit behind them. So it'll be like 1,000 points to change the colors behind you to purple or whatever the fuck, right? Like I said, depends on the streamer, the creator, whatever the fuck. And then we can also set up a subscription. So that's when people pay a certain amount a month. I think it's $5 a month, and then they get to view your stream without any ads, and they have some other kind of perks I forget. And then yeah, basically the thing I'm looking for, and then watch time also. Watch time also I believe gets established. So it's just a thing to flex to show other people in chat like how long you've been following the streamer or watching the streamer. So just fun little things like that to engage with people. Honestly, I cannot wait till we hit affiliate because I want to set up what do you call it, like polls and like not necessarily betting in the good way, because I know, what was it, last week, the week before, I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to really fuck with betting. This is in the wholesome way. This is like coin flip betting, where like we would watch a fight or something like that, like a slap fight, and then before the fight we'd be like team blue, team red, and then a person could put in like 500 points on blue or whatever the fuck, and then it locks in after a minute, and then we watch, and then whatever the results are, if red team wins, then the people that gambled on red, they get X amount of points from the whole thing. It's fun. It's fun. I know it is technically gambling, but it's not the kind of degen ruin your life, lose the house, lose the kids kind of gambling. It's like a little participation, like, throwing in a couple bucks with buddies on like, oh, I throw it on $5, blah 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 blah. This is like the virtual version of that. And like a lot of content that I react to and that I watch on stream would be fucking perfect to have people dropping in like predictions or dropping in like bets or points on whatever the fuck. So I'm really excited for that. And then of course the monetization will be cool. I think I can also, I don't know if I can do it now or if I have to be affiliate. We'll do it when we get affiliate, but then I'll set up like I think it's like PayPal or something like that, so people then can. So then I can see. I think I'll set up PayPal, so then I can do TTS, which is text to speech, and basically it'll be a certain threshold of money, like $2 or something like that, and then the person would type in a message, and then it'd be like a little automated robot voice, and then like the person's text would like come up. Of course, there'd be like filters on it, of course, but yeah, those are always fun. So I set up TTS so people can have highlighted or like message things while we're playing whatever thing. That'll be really fun. I was talking with my buddy Seth. I think it was last night. Yeah, last night. he had a brilliant idea, and I love the idea of it, and I've been thinking about it a lot more. So probably gonna make another YouTube channel that will be for the shit that I do on streams, but specifically pertaining to um, playing game series that people either. So, for example, what spawned all of this is that Seth wants me to play, I think it's Dead Space 3, which is basically like a spooky horror game, right? He wants me to play that game. I don't have a problem playing that game. It's just I myself, couldn't put myself to paying that money to a game that I know I wouldn't play otherwise, right? To which then he replied, well, I'll buy the game for you, would you play it? So when I was like, fuck yeah, like if you're willing to throw down, at that point I feel obligated. Of course, I'll play the fucking game. So that kind of sparked something in my head where I'm like, dude, this could be really fucking fun, a really cool series to do, streaming and make a channel and upload it on the channel where we have user submitted games. Like people pay for me to play some games, and then I'll play those fucking games. And it'd be like horror games, whatever the fuck. Because at that point, because again, I'm a cheap bastard. Part of the reason I don't even gamble is because I couldn't even part with $5 in the hopes of, oh, maybe you might lose it. The fact that there is that chance that I just threw $5 away, that's why I don't fucking gamble, right? So I couldn't bring myself to want to spend money to buy this game, to play this game. But fuck yeah, if this person's willing to spend the money and gift me the game, I feel obligated. Of course, I'll play the game. So I feel like tapping into that will be really fucking fun. And I'm already pseudo kind of doing that right now with Skyrim, because the playthrough I'm doing right now, my buddy Seth, there's a add-on to the game, a different world essentially from the world that you're in, and it's an island off the world, right? So we'll call it like Hawaii, and you can go take a trip to Hawaii, and it's like a whole different world there. And he didn't know, or he never really played that part of the game before back in the day. So I'm basically waiting until when he hops in the stream, and then I'm playing, exploring that. So that'd be the similar concept of when somebody wants to donate a game for me to play, and then they pull up in chat, or we set up like a day or whatever the fuck. Like, all right, I'm gonna play user requested games, and then we just play games that people request. Cause yeah, I fucking love to play all kinds of shit. It's just I couldn't bring myself to spend money on something, especially if it is something like a horror game, because I'll shit my fucking pants, bro. I will shit my fucking pants playing. There's a reason I don't play these fucking horror games. It's because I don't want to spend money on it, and the threshold to be able to return stuff without spending money is like a couple hours, and you can't really, I'm not trying to. That's just lame. That's just dumb. But I again don't want to bring myself to spend that money on it. So I feel like that's the perfect workaround for that, where this motherfucker wants to see me play this game. All right, bet. Gift it to me and I'll play that fucking game. And it's not even on some cheap shit where it's like I play the game when I will set up a time, I set up a day, and we'll do whatever the fuck so that I know you'll be tapped in, and then you can watch me play the game that you paid for. Because I feel like that'd be hella fucking satisfying. Bro, I would love to do that, bro. If there was somebody else out there that was streaming shit, and then I could buy a game for them and they'd play the game, like react to it. Same thing with reaction stuff. Granted, the people, you have to be cool. You can't just be a fucking bot and then drop a link in chat. But everyone that's vetted, people are dropping links, and on media nights when I'm watching shit on YouTube, just drop a link to a YouTube video or start watching that. Drop a link to a recommendation for like a movie or something, start watching that. So yeah, I just want to. It's a lot of community oriented stuff, and I've been having so much fucking fun doing it, honestly, because yeah, this is me sitting here talking to a camera as well, but it's different because, like, again, I'm not fucking queso out here or like Kai Cenat. It's not fucking going crazy. It's a handful of people chatting at any given time. But just knowing there's other people out there, like, what's been really getting me is so after you're recording, after your broadcast, it gets saved for a certain amount of time. That's called a VOD. I think that stands for video on demand. Don't know if that applies to a VOD on there, but basically, so I'll have X amount of people watching me live, but then it gets posted pretty much as a video for 7 days after I was live, right? And some of these VODs are getting north of 100 views on them, right? Like a couple ones of one a couple days ago was like 90. I think 3 or 4 days ago was like 97 views or something like that on a VOD. I think I didn't check tonight, but the day before we did like a 7-hour stream that had like I think 60, 70 something views. So that's another cool aspect. I don't know who the fuck is watching these things. Shout out VOD Squad. I don't know who the fuck's watching these things, but I'm kind of getting a reaction, feeling the pulse, if you will, of what people are fucking with versus not, as far as like VODs go. Because I'll notice I'll play certain games or do certain stream lengths, and I'll get a lot more views, and then I'll do like a shorter stream or play like a certain game, and it won't get as many. And it's not that I play based off of views. Like, I'll play whatever the fuck I want, and me streaming is just what I'm doing anyway, but just now recording it. So it's not like I'm gonna be, I mean, the most clouded game I play is most definitely Fortnite, but it's not like I'm playing Fort because, oh my god, it's Fortnite, you can blow up and everyone's streaming it. Like, I could give a fuck less what the cool game is. I just play games to have fun and shit. But it's cool to see what other people are fucking with, what other people's reactions are. The biggest one that's been really funny is the slap fighting content, or the power slap. So for y'all that are unaware, uninitiated, you need to tap the fuck in. So Dana White, who is the president, founder, owner of whatever, CEO of UFC, which is MMA, right? He founded a new sport, or helped found a new sport, or budgeting. I don't know what the fucking word is. I always try and use it. A new sport that was founded in like 22, at least his edition, founded in 22. This is like brand new. And it's called Power Slap. And it is basically, it is slapping, but it's very regulated, and it's done in Nevada. There's a TV show, like a reality TV show that they've been doing. There's 2 seasons of. It's called Road to the Title, Power Slap, Road to the Title. We're on the 2nd season. Tap in, it's a great show. But anyway, the premise is the same, with a similar reality show that he did, where you have these people that are competing in this big reality style house. Then at the end of the week, or at a certain time throughout the show, they then face up against each other, and then the winner progresses on through the show, the loser doesn't, and then the winner, eventually they're fighting for like a contract, they're trying to get in the sport, whatever the fuck, right? So we've been tapped into Power Slap and fucking with Power Slap. And and the amount of people, like my coworkers, friends online, people just mentioning me and like talking about like Power Slap and shit like that. Like, I'll have coworkers asking me about it, talking about like, oh yeah, what's that slapping stuff you were watching the other night on stream? Like, oh yeah, Power Slap. I'm like, yeah, that shit. So that's been, honestly, because I kind of forget doing this, and even sometimes streaming where there is the reaction, I kind of forget that this is going out, other people are seeing it and like reacting to it, and can like, I don't know how to, like, yeah, just like, I forget that there's people on the other side of this. Like, half of this is just me doing this just because it's fun and a nice way to express myself and whatever the fuck. And yeah, and then it's things like that I realize. I'm like, oh yeah, oh, motherfuckers can like, there's other people on the other side of the phone, so to speak. You know, there's people are tapping in. I appreciate it, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it, because it's been a lot of fucking fun. And shout out Twitch underscore, or twitch.tv _ Big Larv 1. I guess it's Twitch _ Big Larv 1. But anyway, Big Larv 1 on Twitch. He's the wise guy that started all this shit. He's been streaming since, I don't even know how long, on his PS5 for a while, since sometime in 23. I don't even fucking know. But yeah, he'd be streaming on his PS5, and you know, he's fucking good. He's really good at Fort. He's absolutely carried. It's been so much fun. But yeah, he's been goated on Fort. He was streaming off his P5, and then I don't know. There's something just clicked earlier this year, because yeah, today's March 23rd, and we've been streaming, we'll say 54 days. So we, sometime in like June. What the fuck? Sometime in like late January, maybe like February, uh, it just clicked. I mean, it was rudimentary. It was rough figuring it out, because again, it was something like this, something new that I hadn't done before, trying to figure it out. But yeah, it's the easiest, like I said before, it's the easiest form of expression. I just like I press a button and make sure it's recording and everything goes well, and then boom, and then I just rip for hours. So it's been really, really fun just getting to fucking around and shoot the shit. And one of my coworkers, I don't take it as a roast, but it totally fucking I thought it was totally funny and totally fucking was. But I was telling her about, because she's tapped in on my social media. That's another thing. People love the warning drill that I give out. Because when I post on my Snap and my Instagram, every time we go live or when I post new media, I give a warning to the people to let them know what the fuck's going on. And so she's always like somebody that's like liking the stories on Instagram. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I saw you were streaming last night." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking asshole." Like, it was again, stayed up super late, had to be at work or wake up earlier. So I was like, yeah, I went to bed at probably like 6 in the morning here, blah 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 time. I ended up streaming for like almost 8 hours, probably like 7 hours, 45 minutes, something like that. And she's like, "Oh my god, are you getting paid for this?" And I was like, "Nope, not yet." The look on her fucking face was literally not judgmental and gross, like in a mean way, but she just had that reaction of like, "Oh my god, that could not be me. Like, you're doing that for free right now, my guy? What the fuck?" Like, she had that kind of look. And I started busting out laughing. I thought it was really fucking funny. I'm like, hey, not yet, pal. We're on the way. Not fucking yet. It's for the love of the game, baby. That's what I told her. It's for the fucking love of the game, baby. But yeah, no. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. It's been really fun. I've been meeting people. I have a couple of EU gamers or like Australian gamers, so that's been fucking funny. Because me being a DGen is them early in the morning. So like, what's the conversion rate? I think like 4 my time is like 8 in the morning for them. So I'm still up being an asshole like 4 in the morning. And they're like, "Oh, top of the morning to you. Oh, you just woke up. How you doing? Teas and crumpets." I'm just like, "Oh yeah, what's up, dude?" It's like an X amount of time early in the morning. They're like, "Oh, it's 7 in the morning for me." I'm like, "Damn, you're already starting your day. That's crazy." Like, I have yet to end mine. Because I'm such an asshole. I get like 5 hours of sleep, and then I go to work for X amount of time, and then I'll stream for probably equal to or longer than I probably worked that day, and then I'll go to bed at asshole time and just cycle repeats. And I'm not complaining. I fucking love it. I obviously don't have to be doing any of it, but it is just. I think it's mad fucking funny. I just look over and it's fucking 5 hours deep, and I'm just like, fuck, did I meant to stream for like 3? It literally happened last fucking night. I meant to get off at like 2, and I got off sometime after like 3 or something, maybe 4. Like, it was, I don't even know. I haven't checked yet. I don't even remember how long I streamed for last night, but it was longer than intended. That much I do remember. But yeah, tap the fuck in. We also made a Discord. I'm pretty sure the link for the Discord should still work. We made a fucking Discord, so make sure you tap the fuck into the Discord so you don't miss out on anything. Um, yeah, that's basically. Let's see. What are we? Okay. It's been like. Is it raining? No fucking way is it raining, bro. It was like hot and sunny. Why the fuck is it raining? That's crazy. Um, what the fuck? It's fucking raining. I don't. They probably won't be able to get picked up by the mic. What the fuck? It's raining right now. It was hot today. It was like 70 something. Not pushing 80s. There's 70 something, but like cloudy, I guess. I guess clouds do make rain. Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, Sunday. So I'm still pressed about it. That's why I'm still thinking about it. So Sunday last week, St. Patty's Day. So that day I worked, right? I worked St. Patty's Day, which should have been a crime. Should have had the fucking day off, right? Should have had the day off. Should have had, make me come into work. Should have had holiday pay. Anyway, worked St. Patty's Day. Got off at, we'll call it like 8, 9 o'clock at night, right? I guess I was the asshole that was going fucking Christmas shopping on like Christmas Eve. I went to 7 different locations trying to find Guinness beer to drink on St. Patty's Day. Went to 3 different grocery stores, 4 or 5 different fucking gas stations. Some of them had every other fucking drink under the sun. Didn't even have Guinness as like a slot or a thing available. Fucking 15 types of Coors, Coronas, fucking Modelo's, Tecates, all this other bullshit, right? Not a single Guinness. nowhere to be found. Fucking Foster's, no Guinness to be found. Nothing. And then fucking Gizmo's popping off. And then other places, other big box stores like Wally World, they had a slot for it, but completely empty. All the other beers filled up, completely empty. Was just completely empty. Was that? I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? I didn't think it'd be. I didn't, it's crazy because I know motherfuckers don't rock with Guinness like that. Like I know Guinness is not that fucking crazy. It is a dark, heavy, rich, like I forget. I think is it even a lager? I mean, ale. I don't know my beers like that too well, but it's just a very thick, heavy, dark beer. I know motherfuckers ain't that hype drinking fucking Guinness. And then the one day, maybe it's because it's the one day, but then fuck these people. Was it like champagne? What is it, St. Patty's Day, the fucking New Year's for Guinness? Is it the one day of the year that everyone and their mom decides, like, ooh, how about a Guinness? I was just trying to celebrate my fucking heritage. Unbelievable. So I settled and I got some fucking Mickey's 40s. So I at least had some Mickey's in me. So, that also was something. But I was like, God damn, bro, it would have been nice to have a Guinness and a Mickey's. Start with a little bit of a Guinness, have a little 40, but no, fuck me. I was looking for Guinness on fucking St. Patty's Day. Shame on me. Unbelievable, pal. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, the only note I have written down was from an article that I saw at work earlier in the week. So, and I had to look it up because I was like, has this? No, I'm not crazy. So, to preface, this will cover a topic that is very sad and very adult. It was the Oxford High School school shooting that occurred in 2021 by I believe at the time 15-year-old kid in Michigan. He had a gun. I think it was like gifted to him or something like that, and he shot and killed 4 kids and then injured 7 others. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is that what was this on the 15th? So I guess both the parents, the mom and the dad of the kid who committed the shooting, they for pretty much the first time ever, they themselves were charged with the same charges that their son received. So the dad on the 15th, a jury has found James Crumbly, the father of the Oxford High School shooter, guilty of all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The jury returned a unanimous verdict on Thursday after nearly a week-long trial to determine if the father holds any responsibility for the Oxford High School shooting, where his son killed 4 students, Justin Shilling, Madisyn Baldwin, Tate Myre, and Hana St. Juliana, and injured 7 other people on November 30th of 2021. And like the sad part, my first reaction when I looked at the newspaper, and I was reading the newspaper little cutout, was I couldn't even remember. I was like, wait, which one was this? Like these happen so fucking often. I'm like, wait, which mass shooting was this? Which horrible incidents of gun violence was this? I can't keep up. Like there's so many that pop up in the headlines, and there's so many. It's like I at this point I'm just fatigued. Like I have fucking I don't know, pal. And I've honestly, in a large part, not even necessarily like I've tried, but I've just been really tapped out of just news and media and all of that just in general. So thankfully that is also pertained to not being tapped into the most recent horrific fucking thing happening. Which side tangent, which we'll hop into. Apparently, my mom was telling me before this because I was talking to her about this. Apparently, ISIS fucking attacked Moscow and killed like north of 100 people or something like that. It was like a festival or I think something music related, and they just went in fucking blasting with AKs, throwing grenades, burning shit, something about the roof collapsing in. That's fucking crazy. ISIS went and attacked fucking in Moscow in like the heart of Russia. What the fuck? And this is like a week after his fake ass rigged election that kept him honorary president forever. Like that was crazy. Yeah, so this kid shot up, I guess, his school, yeah, in November of 2021. And his parents are now charged with the same thing that he got. The father's accused of not keeping the gun used in the shooting safely stored away and not getting his son the necessary help for his mental health needs. Um, yeah, and the wife was found guilty of the same charges in February, and they'll both be sentenced on April 9th. And let's see. And then somebody was saying, I think the prosecutor said, the father is not on trial for what his son did. Quote, he's on trial for what he did and what he didn't do. And then the defense argued that the dad wasn't aware that his son had access to the gun or was going to carry out the shooting, and also said the father wouldn't have known what the shooter was writing in his journal or in text messages to his friends. So, from what my mom was telling me when I looked up a little bit as well, I guess it was pretty much as clear cut a fucking, like, I need help. Oh my god, this? It's never anything. It's literally never anything. It's probably like a cat on the roof, and these motherfuckers are popping off like that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this kid like was such a clear sign of help. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, prosecutors pointed to the journal entry he had written, quote, I have zero help for my mental problems, and it's causing me to, all caps, shoot up the fucking school. I want help, but my parents don't listen to me, so I can't get any help. That was just one of the quotes that he had in this thing. So it was very clear cut, like, this kid needs help. And I guess in the response to that kid trying to tell his parents, like, yo, I'm tapped. I need fucking help. Please fucking help me. I need help. I'm not feeling good. I guess their reaction was to just get him a firearm. Or maybe it was like maybe something to do with his birthday or something. And like, yeah, fucking give him a gun. Kid's going through some shit, give him a fucking gun. And as a result, that gun was then used. Damn, yeah, 15-year-old in Michigan in 2021. So it's crazy now that his parents, because it's never happened before. There's never been a clear cut, like, I don't even know if it's necessarily clear cut, but just, I guess, in the court of law, indefensible or beyond a shadow of a doubt, provable instance of this tragic thing happening because of the direct negligence of these people. Like, this is, yeah, it's quote, very rare for parents to be held accountable when their children have access to firearms and do harm. A law professor at the University of California, LA said. Um, but they described the verdict on Thursday as, quote, not unexpected but still surprising, adding that the facts in the case were unusually clear. This case may not set a huge precedent, he says, because there won't be as many cases where the facts are as egregious as this one. Yeah, this dude is literally like writing like, I'm fucking tapped, help me, on the wall, and his parents are like, Smith and Wesson, Colt 45, Ruger, Glock, Beretta. Like they just had the complete opposite response than that they should have. Yeah, apparently they had ignored warning signs and had been negligent in allowing their son to have a gun. And they pointed to the journal entry. On the morning of the shooting, James and Jennifer attended an urgent school meeting after Ethan's teacher found drawings he had made of a gun and bloody figures, but they declined to take him home. When the teen began his rampage hours later, James, who was working as the dad, was working as a DoorDash driver, rushed home to look for the gun. That's not at all sus. Their dad's defense lawyer argued that there's no evidence that the 47-year-old declined to help Ethan, and that, quote, James had no idea his son was having a hard time. And yeah, right. Yeah, and apparently the verdict marks a major milestone in the long-standing debate of the responsibility of parents in preventing school shooters. There have been over 1,500 school shootings in the U.S. since 1997, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics and Education Week. That's fucking crazy, bro. It's shown a new avenue, a different sort of treatment towards school shootings and accountability that hasn't been yet seen, Tim Carey, law and policy advisor at Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions, said. Legal experts, however, are divided on whether the recent verdicts can effectively tackle gun violence in the future. Definitely not. Stephen J. Morse, a professor of law and psychiatry at the University of Pennsylvania, spoke with the BBC after the mom's verdict last month. Told the BBC after the mom's verdict last month that it could result in the court looking for, quote, scapegoats in similar cases. Quote, I understand that she was not necessarily the best mother in the world, but that is not a crime, end quote. Meanwhile, he says he does not think the verdicts of the Crumblies will have much effect on gun policy in the U.S., but they could have an impact on gun violence. Quote, control politics are such that it's going to take much more than individual cases to change the direction of gun control today, which he's not wrong. It could lead to more prosecutors bringing charges against parents with their children use firearms, and that could have a similar effect of gun control. It would encourage more parents to keep guns out of the hands of their children, to take safe storage more seriously, in which case it doesn't change the law on gun control, but maybe changes how people at home control their guns. So it's not gun control, but it's controlling your guns in a way that, your guns are, used and they don't hurt people. Yeah, I thought that was very, 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 very interesting. First of its kind. In this case, for sure, the parents deserve to get clapped because from everything I've read and everything I understood, that could have been very preventable. And not only are there 4 children dead, which is the most important part, and that 7 other individuals, not sure if it was just kids or teachers, but 7 other individuals were also injured. A 15-year-old kid is now serving a life without parole sentence. And I understand, obviously, the steps that you take to get into the position where you're facing life without parole. Obviously, you weren't fucking selling Girl Scout cookies and Boy Scout fucking popcorn, right? But a 15-year-old to then be sentenced to life without parole. I mean, for Christ's sake, you could hit a motherfucker with a 25-year sentence, make him do most of the 25-year sentence, and he would have spent more time in prison than the time he would get out, and then he'd be out in his mid-30s or in his 40s. And that would still be fucked, but at least the dude would be out. But you're condemning a 15-year-old child to be in prison. Again, I understand, you dumbass, you fucking kill people. I know, I get it. I understand he killed people, but it's not going to take these people aren't going to come back just because this kid now is also, I don't even know the words for it, just thrown away. I mean, obviously the kid was in bad standing before. It led, obviously, rational people that are in good standing don't do these things. They don't turn to these things. But even more so, I feel like that's a cause for help or a need for help on the part of the child where they felt that desperate and that they were that unwell that's what led them to do that kind of shit. Because, I mean, fuck, dude, it'll be 3 years this year since this kid's done it. Obviously, I don't know the kid, but I mean, he's had a lot of time since when it happened to now. And from what I understand, a lot of child offenders, especially by the time they're in adulthood, and I'm talking probably even older than me, adulthood, they're completely different people than who they were at the age that they did something horrible, And I feel like there has to be some kind of something at the end, because then that, you have somebody who threw away I mean, he already threw away his life, taking the life of other people, and now he's just gonna rot in prison for the rest of his life. And I'm not saying that he necessarily, I don't know, it's a conundrum. I feel like it's a fucking moral conundrum. I feel like that's like the trolley thing, you have a child, right? A 15-year-old child. They commit a horrible, heinous thing that ends in the life of these people not existing anymore. So now, does this child, now their life gets thrown away, effectively killing them and all the things that they could have been and done and whatever, you know? Because, yeah, that's such a weird hang up when young people do such heinous things, especially like taking people's lives, you know? Because it's more easy to grapple with the idea than somebody like my age or somebody older, you know, an adult killing somebody, robbing somebody, whatever the fuck. But, you know, you hear about a 16-year-old shot and killed and the fucking drug deal gone bad or something, or 17-year-old kid killing a 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 15-year-old or some shit like that. And it's just hard to fathom, like, what led to that child. Like, there's so many things, obviously, that have to fail in somebody's life that leads them to that point. But I guess maybe what I'm trying to get to and trying to work out is that just because somebody was failed at all these steps that lead up to something horrible and horrendous, does that thing then also have to end up leading them to further failures and further being cast aside? Or can we maybe try and look at the horribleness and take something that's horrible and turn it into something, maybe something a little bit more positive, a little bit more, I don't know, it's tough. Because obviously, like, those poor kids that got fucking killed, man. Like, because of this kid, there's 4 families that are forever impacted, and they don't have somebody to come home with them for Thanksgiving, and they aren't going to college, you know? But in a way, it's almost like this kid also was killed. Because he's just going to rot in prison. And he's not going to do fucking anything at all. And he's just going to live and die in fucking a concrete cell. Probably the best he'll get is a fucking kennel half the size of this room that he can pace back and forth for 2 hours out of the week. It's just fucked all around. I feel like the only justice in all of this is that there's some responsibility on behalf of the parents, some accountability on behalf of the parents, where finally, because of their negligence and their direct actions that can be pinpointed and proven, like, hey, because you did A, B, C, and D happen, asshole, get clapped. That's like one of the only nice things about this. Because in a way, it feels almost weird to say, but in a way, it feels like the parents almost had just as much responsibility as the child did going into that. Because fuck, I remember what it was like to just be, obviously not a school shooter, fucked up level 15-year-old kid, but I remember going through a lot and just hormones and emotions and mental health and fuck, man, I can't even imagine if I was at my lowest low and I'm trying to reach out to my parents like, please, I'm drowning, and then their reaction is just to get me a tool of death. Like, yeah, I can, at my lowest lows, it would have been inward, it wouldn't have been outward, but still, I feel bad for all these kids. The only people I don't give a shit about is the parents. They deserve that. I think they're looking at down the barrel of like 15 years. Good. Fuck them. I hope they serve the whole 15. Fuck them. But I feel bad for that kid, man. And I feel worse for the kids that he killed as a result of him not being able to get the proper help that he needed, you know? And like his quote said, like, I have to shoot a fucking school in order to get some help. Like, that's how drastic it got. It got to that point where this kid had to do something that horrible for something to happen. And it's sad because it's not, yeah, fuck those parents on all aspects. It's the parents, because the school even was like, hey, homie's doing some shit. Like, apparently it was day of that shit happening. They're like, hey, he's doing some weird shit. Take care of him. What the fuck's going on? And they're like, nah, he's fine. Here's a Beretta. And then, and the shitter fucking dad, his first reaction, goes home to see. He's like, oh, fuck, did he get the Glock? You fucking asshole. You knew goddamn well that he had that fucking... No, you knew exactly what you're doing. like I said, those parents are just as much at fault as the kid is, and that's probably easily why everyone agreed and clapped them and sentenced them. Because yeah, that's kind of like what the fuck a parent's for, not enabling the worst tendencies of their youth, you know, and not handing somebody on the edge fucking weapon of destruction, you know, like it's just annoying and frustrating and upsetting because it doesn't need to happen. Like, we are so beyond this. It is just so annoying. And that's part of why I've just tapped out of, honestly, I've just emotionally tapped out. It's just, it gets hard and you get desensitized thinking and about all these people. I think it's like 3 people a day are either shot or die or something to do with like gun violence, right? It's just such an incomprehensible number of people that at some point you just kind of shut it out. You're not really thinking about who these people are, what these people mean to other people, you know? It's just names on a screen, it's a number on a board, you know? And I feel like that's what's partly perpetuated part of the cycle, the Ouroboros of it, is that because these big ones get reported on and all these things, that I feel like it does turn into a sick video game for people that are fucked up. So in a way, it is like a leaderboard. Like, oh, he got 50 something. Well, I'm gonna go get a high score and set this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go, you know. Like, there's definitely that aspect of it where we're feeding into it and we're feeding it. Like, if you don't talk about it and nobody gives a shit about it, then that would stop, I don't know what percentage, but that would stop some percent of people from being deterred from doing it. Not to say that everyone who's doing demonic shit's out here clout chasing for it, but depressingly, there is that element of people doing that for sure. But yeah, it's just annoying because it's mainly annoying because we did it to ourselves. It's I think it's too late to be able to do anything effective now, but we really did it to ourselves, you know? And like, we're such a cancer with it that we're infecting our neighborhood countries with it. Like, literally all the guns that Mexico has and that the cartel uses to fight the government and shit literally comes from here. Oh, and the fucking fentanyl epidemic that we're having that's fueled by the fucking opioid and all that. Yeah, no, that's literally the Sinaloa cartel is literally telling us, like, yeah, we're selling fentanyl, getting cash, buying 50 caliber sniper rifles, and then sending those over the border. And now we have shit that can punch holes through helicopters. Like, we're just out here. We're the ones doing it. We're doing the most. And then that in turn just feeds more, and they get more drugs, more money for drugs, more money for guns, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And it's sad because we are like the biggest, best nation industrially at this point, which is the only one that has this problem. China's beefy as fuck. You don't see them having crazy ass people shooting shit up. I mean, pockets of Europe it's happening too. Now Moscow, but that's not their own. It's literally terrorist organizations are coming in and doing it. It's not their own fucking people. You don't turn on the TV and hear, oh, another Grecian kid shot up a fucking school. Nope. Sorry, sweaty. That's only American. That's so American. It gets to the point where people from other countries want to assault Americans, the first thing they go to is talk about being fat and school shootings or just gun violence, because that's what we project out into the world on the world stage. Just obesity and fucking guns. And it's a great fucking image, pal. But yeah, no, you look at gun violence charts and all that shit, and it's like America's way up here with all this crazy bullshit, like per whatever, and then everybody else, like the next highest dude is like down here at like 2, and you're like, how the fuck are we like 38K, and then the next dude down here is at like 2, and then the dude at like 2 is like actual. I'm pretty sure there's places that are war torn countries or like actively fighting that are less popping off than parts of like America, or have less like fatalities than certain parts of America, bro. Like, how the fuck do we have a higher body count than fucking certain parts of South Sudan? Like, what do we? And it's crazy because those motherfuckers are in active war, and their governments and all that shit's like society has collapsed, and that's why they're at this point. I could just go to my store and there's a coin flip % chance that I might just be in the middle of some bullshit and might get gunned down when I'm at a grocery store or when I'm at a fucking fast food place or something, or just in public at a fucking movie. God forbid I want to go see a new dope ass fucking movie. There could be some crazy shitter that goes to see the same thing and fucking shoots up the whole thing. I didn't pay $15 just to get fucking shot. Unbelievable. And it doesn't, like, I knew it was over when Sandy Hook happened. Like, nothing happened at all after Sandy Hook. A dude literally went into an elementary school and shot these babies, some of which to the point of unrecognizability, and we didn't do anything. Anything. What's the response? Too soon. No, it's too soon. We can't. No, it's too soon. We don't want to. Oh, well, if we do this, it's going to be this. And oh, if we do this, it's going to be this. And we twiddle our thumbs and we kick the can down the road. And how many more children have to fucking die? Because, see, it's that's the other thing, too. It's our fucking. I was reading in that article. You know what surpassed, like, disease and shit with killing children in America? It's fucking gun violence, my guy. So now, like, the leading cause of death for most people, or one of the higher leading causes of death for young children and, like, adolescents, is fucking gun violence, dude. Like, we beat tuberculosis. We said, fuck you to the measles. But then Timmy's gonna go to school and he might get fucking killed by, I don't know, fellow classmate, maybe some crazy person. You don't fucking know. We're in a fucking first world nation, and yet our children, like, I think it's like maybe like car crashes or something like that, and then like fucking something else, and then gun violence is what's killing these kids. Because that's what it is. That's like when I think of all the headlines, minus the big number ones, like event places, whether it be like the nightclub shooting or in Las Vegas, like, it's fucking schools. Like Parkland, like, is the first one I think. Sandy Hook, like, it's fucking schools. It's always just places of education. Oh my god, dude. And then, yeah, you have like grocery stores, and it's just so gross because, especially in situations like this, so easily preventable. Like, that's what I hate the most about this gun bullshit, is that we can't even start with anything because people are so fucking crazy that we can't even do something as neutral as, like, hey, maybe somebody who's paranoid schizophrenic shouldn't be able to easily access something that they could hurt themselves or other. Like, take the word fucking gun, throw it out the fucking window. Just the sentence, hey, maybe people that are diagnosed with severe mental illness shouldn't be allowed to use sporks or have sporks. You'd be like, yeah, I mean, I could, it's kind of sharp on one side, and they do have the knife part of it. They could scoop if, I feel like we could kind of come to some whatever understanding. Like, yeah, okay, maybe somebody who's tapped, maybe they shouldn't have a spork for whatever reason, right? But if all of a sudden that spork becomes a 9mm, and oh no, that's your God-given right, bro. You will not, don't you dare tread on me, Second Amendment, brother, right to bear arms. We can't even, like, just have, like, we're just gonna have a dude in the town square going, woohoo, I'm crazy, woohoo, yeah, woohoo, woohoo. And you're like, yeah, give that guy a gun. Yeah, no, have Crazy Terry have a gun. Yeah, no, that's his God-given right. He's American. Give Crazy Terry a fucking gun. We can't even. Oh my god, bro. The fucking, or even like in this stupid shitter's case, motherfucker just buys the gun for you. The kid was 15. He shouldn't even have had access to a firearm to begin with. The most remote access that, the most remote anything he should have had is that dad maybe has a lockbox, strongbox in like his room or a hunting room or whatever the fuck, and it's locked up, spun, whatever the fuck. They made it sound like they gave homie a fucking gun as a gift. Like, gave it to him. Like, here you go, 15-year-old. You can't drive a car legally, but here's a fucking pistol. What are we doing, bro? We can't even just start with, like, just the basics of, like, hey, maybe tapped people shouldn't have access to it. Or maybe make it just a little bit hard for tapped people to get access to it. Then, no, gotta do this, and no, gotta do this. And then, not to mention, you can do fucking loophole bullshit. You got auctions and gun shows where they don't, or if it's a private person to private like, that's how most cartels and, like, drug affiliated people do the gun things. It's not like necessarily scratched off serial number weapons that are legit weapons, but the way that they cross hands and or whatever is not really well documented. So it'd be basically like if your homie did your taxes and then turned into the IRS and they're like, yeah, he made like $15 the whole year. Here you go, Mr. IRS. And then the IRS just looks at it and they're like, well, according to this totally legit piece of paper, he only got $15 this year, so here you go. Like, that is the minimal. Like, some of these don't have a fucking paper trail. Some of these private vendors, person to person sales, don't have receipts. It's fucking cash. You go to a gun show, maybe have ID. Maybe have ID. Show ID. Be like, hi, how much for that one? That's $300. All right, here you go, cash. Boom. Now you have a fucking gun. Didn't have to wait your 3 days to a week. Didn't have to do a background check. Granted, of course, you go to honestly, it's like fucking drugs. It's like weed, You could go to the dispo, in which you'd have to have a license or be 21 and have a license or have a medical card and then wait in the shop. And then they would have weed that is accounted for, that the government knows about, and they know where that eighth came from and where it's going to, and they have the point of sale for that eighth, and it's being sold to this asshole in our system. Or you could just go hit up the plug, be like, yo, how much for an eighth? He's like, $20, pull up cash, boom. It's probably the same bullshit. So yeah, these tap people are like, I'm not going to go to a fucking thing. I'm going to fail my background check. Or I'm not, I'm too tapped. I don't want to have to wait. I want to kill now. I don't want to have to wait 3 days to a week or whatever the fuck to do that. So I'll just go to a private one or go to an auction or whatever the fuck. Like, living in Arizona, I see ads for gun shows all the fucking time. All the fucking time. I'll be in highways with big old neon orange and black sign. Gun show. This date, and this date. And it's just, I'm driven by, it's just a big ass tent. And like, sometimes the parking lots that they pull off and sell like fireworks, Christmas trees, pumpkins, those empty lots that are used for seasonal bullshit, sometimes it's literally fucking that. And we're selling fucking guns. Just like that. Cool, I guess. I mean, I kind of forgot about, because I'm a fucking lib, all right. I'm not really tapped into guns. I totally forgot that, like, it is like kind of like GTA. I think it was on stream. Yeah, I think it was on stream, and I was just looking up guns, and it literally felt like Grand Theft Auto, like fucking guns.com, and then just fucking rifle $1,200 sale, $500 off, $850. And it's the fucking gun, and then it tells you the fucking things of it and everything, and just add to cart. I'm like, you can just do this, huh? Because like I'm broke and I've been depressed most of my life for both. So me having a gun is both something I couldn't afford nor would want to have. So I just kind of forgot about that. But yeah, you can just fucking go on a website, and just not only look at, but then purchase. They have, bro, some of that shit looks like Call of Duty. They have fucking wraps on like Glocks and shit like that. Make it look like cool, like lava and shit like that. On a real gun with the fucking. Imagine you break into somebody's house and he fucking mows you down with a lava camoed Glock. Like it's fucking CSGO. But he's got a fucking sticker on his fucking 12 gauge pump. Like, that shit is. Not something I'm tapped into, so not something I really ever looked into, but the fact that it was that, again, it isn't like drugs necessarily. I don't even think I can buy weed online. I don't know if Arizona has like delivery like that, but it just felt weird that I could just look at and theoretically with money just access a gun. Obviously, probably have to like send them a picture of my ID or some bullshit like that. But yeah, no, it was like fucking eBay, but for guns. And then one of them had different, like, it was broken down by the kinds of different guns and like the different kind of caliber, like bullet that it would shoot, like 7.62 by 5.58, fucking 308, 385, 44, blah 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 blah. So I was just looking at these, bro. There was literally like some Call of Duty ass. Some asshole literally put a fucking. He literally put a fucking sniper scope, like a 4X sniper scope, on a big long ass barrel, fucking like 44 Magnum revolver, like a 6-shooter, like 44 revolver, like barrels like that fucking long, like coming from the like body of it, like that fucking long, and it had a fucking hunting scope on it, dude, for like $700. I was looking at like the pictures of it, like the different angles, and like using like the 360 scan thing, and like looking at it. I'm like, bro, this is literally like fucking Call of Duty. What the fuck? $750. Fucking there you go. 44 Magnum. Yeah, have fun, cowboy. It's like, damn. And see that I'm a lib, but like maybe that shouldn't exist. Maybe Evan Red, the asshole, maybe I shouldn't be able to just get high as fuck and then just be able to like buy a gun if I had the money for it. Like, go freedom, but that's also kind of crazy that I could, theoretically, in one drunken purchase, I could get food for myself, get a computer monitor, and like get a Glock. And then all those motherfuckers eventually come to my door. I mean, America, capitalism, but goddamn, something about that doesn't quite feel right with me, partner. But yeah, I just thought it was crazy, and thankfully that we get one instance from almost 3 years ago, but we get one instance of justice when it pertains to people. Cause see, okay, you know what? Fuck y'all. When it comes to guns, same bullshit as cars. Okay, a car, it's a big ass fucking thing. It's a 2,000-pound weapon. Yada yada yada. Right? Rada rada rada. Back in the day, bitches didn't even have fucking seat belts and was made out of like fucking steel. And assholes were most definitely have a whiskey and coke in one hand on the wheel. Bitches crashing into each other non fucking stop. Right? So then it gets to the point where like, fuck, dude. People are getting like their cheeks clapped and like flying through windows and shit. Like, maybe we should do something to stop this. Boom. Seatbelt gets invented. Boom. Seatbelt gets launched and announced. People. Then there's a whole controversy over seatbelts. Like, I don't want a seatbelt. I haven't seatbelted my whole life. I'm just fine. I'm a great driver. And it turns out that, hey, shitter, if you wear a seatbelt in like any circumstance, you're exponentially going to be better. And then we slowly but surely, over time, put forth measures and set forth measures to now you could have a car going fucking like 60 into a pole, and if it's like the newest fucking 2020 5080 bullshitter, fucking crumples and puts you in a nice little delicate little thing, and it shoots you out the back with a little parachute, you land safely in a cocoon. Why can't we just look at guns as the same thing? A tool of utility that has the potential, I mean, in this case, is meant to kill. Maybe we do some regulations and make it so, like, because you can look it up, shitters. Before we had, like, the safety regulations when it came to, like, seatbelts and having seatbelts and all that, a lot of fucking people used to die in car crashes. We still do. A lot of people still do die from car crashes. But that number is a lot less than what it was before because we came together and agreed, hey, this system, this thing with this isn't quite working. Maybe there's some improvements we can make so that maybe less people die. Because that's literally what it is. It is another avoidable fucking death that didn't need to happen. And just because some people feel a certain fucking way about whatever, we're not doing anything and people are still dying and people are still needlessly getting killed. Fuck you shitters who are anti-progress and want to make things harder for everybody. Like, you are the same pricks that are like anti-LGBT, and then you have a child and then the kid comes out as like gay or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I was always there and I support them all the way. You know, LGBT all the way, I support them. Like, I hate those motherfuckers that don't give a shit about something unless it happens to them. Right? Some rich asshole doesn't give a fuck about, climate change or global warming or whatever the fuck, and then his house in Malibu goes underwater, and all of a sudden he's like, man, we should really do something about this climate. I just lost my beach house in Malibu. Like, oh, woe is me. Oh, like, I don't mean to put this out there into the universe, but is that what it takes for you to get this? Is have somebody you know or love or care about needlessly die by gun violence? Is that what it's going to take for the people involved that can pull the levers and switches to do shit? Is that what it's going to have to fucking take for you to understand and for you to get this? I don't. I don't, thankfully, nobody in my immediate, but just other people through the web of life. And even I understand, like, hey, let's fucking do anything. Because whatever the fuck we're doing right now is not fucking working. And continuing to just spin our wheels and sputter and not fucking do anything, people are still dying. And people are still being killed. And the shittiest part is that right now, some people are probably getting killed. Like when I drop this episode, some people are probably getting killed that is equal to or more than the thing we're talking about in this episode. I'll drop this episode and we'll find out fucking 6 people got killed and another 17 got injured at some fucking other totally avoidable bullshit. But because we haven't decided to do anything, we're not going to do anything. And more people are just going to fucking die. Can we not look into making seat belts here? Can we not, like... fucking gun people, man. I swear to God. Is that really what it's going to take? Are you going to have to lose somebody to gun violence or have somebody directly impacted by it for you to then think like, oh, fuck, this is happening to me now. Oh, maybe we should do something about this. That is the worst kind of fucking person that has to happen to me, Randy, in order for me to do something. Fuck you, it has to happen to me, Randy's. How about maybe we do Before It Happens to Me, Andy, in which we don't have to wait around until something horrible happens and realize, oh, fuck, maybe we should do something different. Unbelievable, pal. Unbelievable, pal. Oh, goddamn. We've been popping off for like an hour now already. I didn't even see. I just got the gift of gab, as the kids would call it, yap. Back in my day, it was called the gift of gab. But from one controversial topic, gun control, to another, let's talk about Satan, shall we? I'm the master of segues. Yes, 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 yes. We're coming up on, so this bookmark right here is the furthest I've gotten when I first tried to read this. Like I said, I've read it parts and pieces, but I don't think everything dedicated front to cover, front to back, whatever. I just read throughout the whole years. So, oh yeah, and I ripped the fucking page. Ugh, that's so annoying. How did that page even get ripped? I forgot about that last time. That makes me sad. Okay. The Satanic Ritual. Notes which are to be observed before beginning ritual. 1. Person performing ritual stands facing the altar and symbol of Baphomet throughout ritual, except when other positions are specifically indicated. If possible, altar should be against west wall. In rituals performed by one person, the role of priest is not required. When more than one person is involved in the ceremony, one of them must act as a priest. In a private ritual, the sole performer follows the instructions for the priest. Whenever the words Shem Ham Farash and Hail Satan are spoken by the person acting as priest, the other participants will repeat the words after them. The gong is struck following the other participants' response to Hail Satan. 5. Conversing, except within the context of the ceremony, and smoking are prohibited after the bell is rung at the beginning, until after it is again rung at the end of the ritual. Number 6. The Book of Belial contains the principles of satanic magic and ritual. Before attempting the rituals in the Book of Leviathan, it is imperative that you read and understand the complete Book of Belial. Until you have done so, no degree of success can be expected from the 13 steps which follow. B. The 13 steps. See devices used in a satanic ritual on pages 134 to 140 for detailed instructions. 1. Ain't nobody out here telling y'all motherfuckers are out here woo wah wah about Satan, no, it's evil, satanic magic. Ew. Ain't no motherfucker out here reading to you, telling you, hey shitter, this is it. This is the book you're scared of. This is what I'm gonna read to you. What it is that you're scared of. Open your ears. I'm here to read it for you. 1. Dress for the ritual. 2. Assemble devices for the ritual. Light candles. Shut out all the outside light sources. Place parchments to the right and left of the altar as indicated. Step 3. If a woman is used as the altar, she now takes her position, head pointing south, feet pointing north. 4. Purification of the air by ringing of the bell. 5. Invocation to Satan and infernal names, which follow, see Book of Leviathan, are now read aloud by priest. Participants will repeat each infernal name after it has been said by a priest. 6. Drink from chalice. 7. Turning counterclockwise, the priest points with the sword to each cardinal point of the compass and calls forth the respective princes of hell. Satan from the south, Lucifer from the east, Belial from the north, and Leviathan from the west. 8. Perform benediction with the phallus, if one is used. 9. Priest reads aloud appropriate invocation for respective ceremony, lust, compassion, or destruction. See Book of Leviathan. 10. In the case of a personalized ritual, this step is extremely important. Solitude is compatible with the expressing of the most secret desires, and no attempt to hold back, quote, hold back, should be made in the acting out, verbalizing, or casting of images pertaining to your desires. It is at this step that your, quote, blueprint is drawn, wrapped, and sent off to the recipient of your working. A. To summon one for lustful purpose or establish a sexually gratifying situation. Leave the area of the altar and remove yourself to that place, either in the same room or without, that will be most conducive to the working of the respective ritual. Then, fashion whatever imagery you possibly can that will parallel in as an exact a way possible the situation towards which you strive. Remember, you have five sentences to utilize, so do not feel you must limit your imagery to one. Here are devices that may be employed either alone or in any combination. Graphic imagery such as drawings, paintings, etc. Written imagery such as stories, plays, descriptions of desires, eventual outcome of the same. Act C, act of the desire in tableau or playlet. That's old as fuck. Either as yourself or portraying the role of the object of your desire, transference, using any devices necessary to intensify imagery. 6. Any odors relative to the desired person or situation, or D, not 6. E. Any sounds or background noises conducive to a strong image. Intense sexual feeling should accompany this step of the ritual, and after sufficient imagery is obtained, as strong an orgasm as is possible should serve as a climax of this step. This climax should be obtained using any masturbatory or autoerotic means necessary. After orgasm is obtained, return to the location of the altar and proceed with the step number 11, page 134. B. To ensure help or success for one who has your sympathy or compassion, including yourself, remain in close proximity to the altar and with as vivid a mental image as possible of the person you wish to help or intense self-pity. State your desire in your own terms. Should your emotions be genuine enough, they should be accompanied by the shedding of tears, which should be allowed to flow without restraint. After this exercise and sentiment is completed, proceed to step 11. C. The cause of destruction of an enemy. Remain in the area of the altar unless imagery is more easily obtained in another spot, such as the vicinity of the victim. Producing the image of the victim, proceed to inflict the destruction upon the effigy in the same manner of your choice. This can be done in the following ways. A. The sticking of pins or nails into a doll representing your victim. The doll may be cloth, wax, wood, vegetable matter, etc. B. The creation of graphic imagery depicting the method of your victim's destruction, drawings, paintings, etc. C. Creation of a vivid literary description of your victim's ultimate end. D. A detailed soliloquy directed at the intended victim describing their torments and annihilation. Or E. Mutilation, injury, infliction of pain or illness by proxy using any other means or devices desired. Intense, calculated hatred and disdain should accompany this step of the ceremony, and no attempt should be made to stop this step until the expended energy results in a state of relative exhaustion on the part of the magician. When this exhaustion ensues, proceed to step 11. Here we are. Step 11. 11A. If requests are written, they are now read aloud by the priest and then burned in the flames of the appropriate candle. Shemham Farash and Hail Satan is said after each request. 11B. If requests are given verbally, participants, one at a time, now tell them to the priest. He then repeats his own words, which are most emotionally stimulating to him, the request. Shem Ham Farash and Hail Satan is said after each request. Appropriate Enochian key is now read by the priest as evidence of the participants' allegiance to the power of darkness. Ringing of the bell as pollutionary, and then past words, so it is done, are spoken by the priest. End of ritual. See, there you have it, Sweaty. That is a satanic ritual. Just like that. Devices used in a satanic ritual. Clothing. Black robes are worn by the male participants. The robes may be cowled or hooded, and if desired, may cover the face. The purpose in covering the face is to allow the participant freedom to express emotion in the face without concern. It also lessens distraction on the part of one participant towards another. Female participants wear garments which are sexually suggestive, or all black clothing for older women. Amulets bearing the sigil of Baphomet or the traditional pentagram of Satan are worn by all participants. Yes, sir. You know we got that thing on us. Yes, sir. Robes are donned by men before entering the ritual chamber and are worn throughout the ritual. Men may substitute all black clothing for black robes. Black is chosen for the attire in the ritual chamber because it's symbolic of the powers of darkness. Sexually appealing clothing is worn by women for the purpose of stimulating the emotions of the male participants and thereby intensifying the outpouring of adrenal or bioelectrical energy, which will ensure a more powerful working. Altar. Men's earliest altars were living flesh and blood, and man's natural instincts and predilections were the foundation on which his religions were based. Later religions, in making man's natural inclinations sinful, perverted his living altars into slabs of stone and lumps of metal. Satanism is a religion of the flesh, rather than of the spirit. Therefore, an altar of the flesh is used in satanic ceremonies. The purpose of an altar is to serve as a focal point towards which all attention is focused during a ceremony. A nude woman is used as the altar in satanic rituals because woman is the natural passive receptor and represents the Earth Mother. In some rituals, nudity for the woman serving as altar may be impractical, so she may be clothed or partially covered. If a female is performing the ritual alone, no woman need be used for the altar. If no female is used for the altar, the elevated plane used for her to lie upon may be used to hold other devices for the ritual. For large group rituals, a trapezoidal altar about 3 to 4 feet high and 5.5 to 6 feet long can be especially constructed for the woman to lie upon. If this is impractical or in private ceremonies, any elevated plane may be used. If a woman is used for the altar, the other devices may be placed upon a table within easy reach of the priest. Symbol of Baphomet. The symbol of Baphomet was used by the Knights Templar to represent Satan. Through the ages, this symbol has been called by many different names. Among these are the goat of Medes, the goat of 1,000 young, the black goat, the Judas goat, and perhaps most appropriately, the scapegoat. Baphomet represents the powers of darkness combined with the generative fertility of the goat. In its, quote, pure form, the pentagram is shown encompassing the figure of a man and the five points of the star, 3 points up, 2 points down. 3 points up, 2 pointing down, symbolizing man's spiritual nature. In Satanism, the pentagram is also used, but since Satanism represents the carnal instincts of man, or the opposite of the spiritual nature, the pentagram is inverted to perfectly accommodate the head of the goat. Its horns, representing duality, thrust upward in defiance. The other 3 points inverted, or Trinity denied. Or the Trinity denied. Trinity denied. The Hebraic figures around the outer circle of the symbol, which stem from the magical teachings of the Kabbalah, spell out Leviathan, the serpent of the watery abyss, and identified with Satan. These figures correspond to the 5 points of the inverted star, the symbol of Baphomet's placed on the wall above the altar. Hail Satan! Candles. The candles used in satanic ritual represent the light of Lucifer, the bearer of light, enlightenment, the living flame, burning desire, and the flames of the pit. Only black and white candles are to be used in the satanic ritual. Never use more than 1 white candle, but as many black candles are as required to illuminate the ritual chamber may be used. At least 1 black candle is placed to the left of the altar, representing the powers of darkness, and the left-hand path. All other black candles are placed where needed for illumination. 1 white candle is placed to the right of the altar, representing the hypocrisy of the white light, quote, magicians, and the followers of the right-hand path. No other light source is to be used. Black candles are used for power and success for the participants of the ritual, and are used to consume the parchments on which blessings requested by the ritual participants are written. The white candle is used for destruction of enemies. Parchments upon which curses are written are burned in the flame of the white candle. Bell. The shattering effect of the bell is used to mark both the beginning and the end of the ritual. The priest rings the bell 9 times, turning counterclockwise and directing the tolling towards the 4 cardinal points of the compass. This is done once at the beginning of the ritual to clear and purify the air of all external sounds, and once again at the end of the ritual to intensify the working and act as a pollutionary indicating finality. The tonal quality of the bell used should be loud and penetrating rather than soft and tinkling. What time is it? Yeah, fuck it. You know what? We got a little bit more to go, but I'm gonna put a pin in it there because it is already 11:45. So we've been recording for a good little bitty. I appreciate y'all for being tapped in for yet another episode. If you made it this far, type in fucking roller skate. That's how I know. Type in roller skate, and I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.